coming on there, share their knowledge and share their information. This week, like I said, coming into this new year, having a brand strategy is one of the most important things I believe real estate agents can do. Because here's what I know. There are two different economies, the world economy or the one that we can create for ourselves, right? So this is where we have to understand the difference. Before I start diving into branding, the strategy, like I said, I'm going to give you guys the bullet points. And just so you know, I have a sheet that I'm going to share with you guys after this. It's a step-by-step process for how to build your brand and also how to shoot at least a video a week as well. Different video topics for you guys. So that's going to be shared at the end. So I don't want you guys to try and get all the notes on that. But here's what I want us to understand. The difference between branding and marketing. It's super important. So many times we're talking to, and would like to open a brokerage. There you go. So many times we put those in the same box, branding and marketing, but they're two completely different things, guys. Marketing is always based on the market, right? Your marketing strategy is based on the current market. Let me see. Let me ask Carrie Sager. Did I say that right, Carrie? How many times have interest rates changed in the last 3 months? Oh, just a wild guess.
They change every day, and I'm in the mortgage biz, so I know.
Every day. So you're in the mortgage business, so you know it. So the market conditions continue to change all the time, right?
Yep.
So if our marketing is currently based on the market, man, we're gonna have a new marketing strategy almost every single day, every single week, attacking the new buyers, attacking what they're thinking. Because when you're marketing, creating that message, I'll tell you what, as crazy as it sounds, guys, this is what we do every day, all day. But changing 2 words in a tagline can take you from 10 leads to 1,000 leads in your marketing. 2 words, 1 word. The smallest little things in your marketing are so important, right? When you build a brand, you create your own economy. When times get tough, people go to the brand they trust. Right? If you guys are taking notes, that's a writer downer. When times get tough, people go to the brand they trust. So just to tell you guys a little bit about my brand. So for those of you guys that don't know, my name is Nick Krem. We've been able to build our business into 13 countries in all 50 states in less than 3 years using organic video strategies. Using organic video strategies and our branding methods that we're going to be sharing with you guys here today. We've been able to grow our business in 13 countries in all 50 states, working with tens of thousands of realtors all over the country. And it's been my absolute pleasure to help other agents understand the importance of building a brand. Because I think we all want a brand, but I don't think most of us, it's not as much a knowingness not to do it. It's really understanding 2 things. 1, the correct steps, and 2, that it's going to take a lot of consistency, right? I can give you guys this blueprint and you'll have almost everything that you need to create this brand, to come out to St. Thomas for an entire week and enjoy the time here with some of your business partners. You know, these things are all possible when you create a brand that attracts business, right? So when you create this brand, I said difference between branding and marketing. Let me see. Let me ask somebody else on here. Let me ask my man, Alan. So Alan with the glasses, you don't have a last name. So Alan, why don't you go ahead and unmute? So Alan, I have a question for you, brother. Has a marketing company ever sent you a lead after you stopped paying them? I don't know if Alan can hear me. Let's try Amar Harastani. Did I say that right? Amar?
Yes.
All right, Amar, let me ask you a question, brother. Has a marketing company ever sent you a lead after you stopped paying them?
No.
After you stop paying them. So you're telling me the moment you stop paying your marketing, they don't send you any more leads?
Yep.
Wow. So guys, here's something to remember. When I know people are laughing, they're like, man, they almost didn't even send me leads when I was paying them, right? Because here's what happens. The marketing companies, marketing is buying your business. I don't want anybody here to leave here thinking I'm not telling you to spend money on marketing or ads, but we have to understand what it really is. Marketing is buying your business. The moment you turn it off, the moment is the leads stop coming in. Branding is building a business that works while you sleep. Branding is building a business that works if you're on vacation. If you want to go on vacation and not take your laptop with you everywhere you go. I know I'm doing this call right now, but I know We have some other people on this call. Jeff, my man, Tim, that we're working with at a very high level. What's going on, guys? And I'll tell you what, this is the one call I had scheduled all week. I wanted to come here to you guys and go over the branding, right? So let's start getting into branding a little bit. So when we start building this brand, you know, a lot of agents that we go out there and we start talking about branding, the first things we think about are the logo, the color schemes, and the tagline. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, let me ask Sean Sturrock. So Sean actually came out to Orlando with us. We have a content house, 7-bedroom house that we turned into a giant video studio. So Sean, did we talk about your color schemes, your logo, or a tagline for you?
No.
So Sean, let me ask this. What were, this little quiz time for Sean. What were the three, there were 6 things that we covered and they're broken up into 3 and 3. Do you remember what those things were that we decided this is how we're going to start building your brand?
Trying to pull it from the back of my brain.
One of them were your core values.
Yes. Yep.
And
Yep.
what was
Yep.
the other one? Let me see. Tim or Jeff, can you unmute and help him here?
Yeah.
Beliefs. All right. So here you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sean and Jeff. So when you start building a brand, your brand are the pillars of your business. Your brand are the pillars of who you are. In real estate, people work with people, right? And you are the brand. So when we start doing this, we have to understand it does not matter what your colors are. It does not matter what your tagline is. The most important part when you start building a brand are identifying what are your core values and what are your beliefs. And I'm going to start going into those. But there's a reason why most people don't stick to this. I'll tell you what, when I'm talking about my core values, it's not the sexiest, coolest thing in the world, right? Core values, right? Like getting on social media and talk about core values. Most people want to do a song and dance. And you know, if you guys have been on these before, you know that on social media, our competition are booties and babies, right? On social media, it's not other real estate agents out there, guys. It is booties and babies. But here's what I know. To create a strong brand that attracts people, you have to have something that's attractable to them and a core structure. So we have something called helping people swim into the boat in our business, right? So this metaphor is you want to help people swim into your boat. If you have somebody here that a client is running away from you, you can't get them back on the phone. What happens is we start paddling towards them, trying so hard, like I got to call them 20 more times. I got to call them 15 more times, shoot them a video. When in reality, if we have a strong brand, there are other people swimming to my boat and being attracted to my business at all times. We're not out here chasing them. But in order to do that, we have to have a strong brand that stands on some pillars. So let's start with core values. So I always say, keep your core values to 3. Pick 3 core values. I'm telling you right now, if you do more than 3, you will not remember them. And core values aren't that great if you can't remember them. So my 3 core values are show up. Show up doesn't mean just showing up to the call. It's ready to go. I have my presentation ready. I have the packaging ready to go. Showing up every time. Win the day. I got that here and tattooed on me somewhere. I'm not going to show, but it's not the worst, but I'm not going to stand up to show you it. But tattooed, win the day on me. I strongly believe in that. Winning every single day. And the third one is 100-0, 100% accountability and 0 excuses. So some best practices for deciding what your guys' core values are. And I kid you not, just Google core values of businesses, core values of people. You'll get a list of 100 and pick the 3 that stand out to you the most. The 3 that stand out to you the most. A lot of times people will ask, like, how do I incorporate this into my business? Or how does that attract clients? Well, let's start thinking about this. And they did a poll. It was an older poll, but I believe it still applies, about some of the least trusted people in business. And it went used car salesman. Can you guess who number 2 was? Real estate agents. Least trusted people in business. Everyday people look at us as sometimes like a sleazy car salesman, used car salesman. Some people will say, not my clients, because they might be referrals. And that's great. But we have to understand, if we really want to build a business, we have to grow outside of that and be able to attract other individuals. But let's think about this. People, the perception of real estate agents is all we do is post a picture online, home for sale. And then a week later, we post another picture, sold. Like, wow, that was easy. And all we're doing is showing off our GCI, showing off our value. I sold $3 million last year, and they're thinking that we made $3 million. It's like, well, that person might have sold one home in California. That's not the point. But the thing is, when we start showing off just numbers, stats, homes all the time, they start to get the impression that that's all that we're about. But then here comes this real estate agent talking about their core values and what they believe in. You're going to start to relating to people a lot more. And here's, and here's something else to keep in mind as well. I like to believe as my content as an asset for my business, not a liability. So I believe I asked somebody earlier, how often has the interest rates changed in the last 3 months? And she's like, they change every day. So what happens if we shoot videos solely based on the market? In 2 weeks, that video is going to be old. It's actually going to be a liability in your business. Because the moment somebody watches that 2-week-old video and calls you for those interest rates, you're gonna look at them like, well, those aren't the rates anymore. This is what we got to do. And it's an instant mistrust. So when you shoot about your core values, I don't care if it's 5 years from now, you're going to see me talking about the same core values and then my same beliefs as well. So let's get into the beliefs. So first thing that we have to do is identify what are our core values of our business. The second one we have to do are, what are the 3 beliefs that I stand for? So I'm going to give you my beliefs and go into detail on this a little bit as well. Belief number 1, I believe who you partner with matters in business and in life. Because I'll tell you what, I partnered with some bad friends before and I was in some bad places. And I partnered with some great friends and we're in St. Thomas. A little bit of a change there, right, guys? I believe who you partner with matters. I believe the agent who dominates social media will dominate the next 15 years in real estate. Why? Because social media is the way that we're going. When people Google a real estate agent, they don't, well, when people look them up, they look them up on Facebook and Instagram anymore. They don't Google you. They Google businesses. They go to Facebook and Instagram for individuals. So here's an exercise I want everybody to do right now. Everybody pick up your phone and go to your Facebook and your Instagram. Your Facebook and your Instagram. And I want you to scroll on that page a little bit. And I want you to ask yourself this one question. Would you hire you solely based on the information that you see there? If you had no idea who you were, solely based on the information that is on your Facebook or your Instagram, would you hire you? Some people say yes. Why don't you guys put it in the chat? Put it in the chat solely based on what you see. I'm not saying maybe some of you guys like yourselves a little bit more than others and give yourselves the benefit of the doubt. But I'll tell you what. See some things, no, yes. Some people would. That's great. Here's the thing. That is your resume. Solely based on that. That is the resume that you have. So getting into this, identifying your core values and identifying your beliefs. That is the absolute first step in creating your brand and what you have to do. So getting into the second step, it's creating your ICP. This is your ideal client profile. A funny story, my camera guy, my cameraman Mario, I was saying ICP all week and I forgot to tell him it was ideal client profile. He thought I was talking about the Insane Clown Posse all week. But ICP means ideal client profile. We have to identify who our audience is. Who are we speaking to in our messages? Oh, did I not say my third belief? Oh, thank you for that. Who you partner with matters. Time is your most valuable asset. I believe time is your most valuable asset. That's my third belief. But here, getting back to the ICP, the ideal client profile. And this is a really important step. And I want to emphasize again, what I'm covering in this first half, especially going through the brand structure, it's not the coolest thing in the world to come up with your ICP. Most people want to get out there and shoot content and go do all these things and have no idea what direction it's heading. Knocking out your ideal client profile sets you up for success, and it makes your life 10 times easier when you want to actually go out there and shoot it and create a brand. ICP is ideal client profile. I'll put that in the chat. profile. Your ideal client profile. So getting into this, the first thing you have to do is establish how old is your ideal client? What location are they in? What job are they currently working? What sort of job are they working? And again, guys, I have this all on a sheet. I'll share it with you. Can't share it now, but I'll share it with you right after this. We have the ideal client profile broken down, your core values step by step. I have a whole worksheet that you guys can go ahead and fill out after this. What I want you guys to do now is just be in learner mode. Learn, take it in, and fill this out as we go. So going through this, what do they do for fun? These are big ones, guys, because when we really think about it, like, why do I have to know what our clients do for fun? Well, where are you going to go shoot your content? You know, some of the best things you could do is get involved in your community and be where your clients are already at. Meet your clients where they're at. Don't try and get them to meet you where you're at. Here are two big ones. Where do they go to eat and where do they go to shop? Where do my clients like to go to eat? Where do my clients like to shop? And we'll get into why that's so important. And David and Troy, there is a difference between core values and beliefs, and we'll get to that. And then what are my ideal clients' goals? And even more importantly, what are my ideal clients' problems? What problems are they going through on a day-to-day basis? And it doesn't always have to be real estate related. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make all the time is they just give people solutions. They come on here and they explain all of real estate. You want to know why I believe there's so many for sale by owners, especially today? It's because, unfortunately, a lot of agents get on here and tell you exactly what to do, and people think it's that easy. Because here's what happens. If you go to some of these pages, I'll tell you what, here's what you're going to see. Just listed, a week later, just sold. And then 3 videos explaining how to sell your home fast. So someone's like, wow, that's all you have to do? Oh, I just post a picture, do these couple things, and I can sell my home. YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, we are commoditizing ourselves. People are like, why are they not willing to pay a real estate agent so much? Well, there's a reason. We're not telling them what we're actually doing. So making sure that we could solve their problems. So here we go. I'm going to start getting into a little bit of the video strategy that you guys can do every single week. All right, that goes straight in alignment with this. So the first thing we all have to stop doing right away. So I learned this. This was a mission of mine. It was about 2-3 years ago. I was having some drinks with the guy from Zillow. My goal was to get him to drink a little bit, you know, just a little bit enough to be able to divulge some information for me. You know, I always like seeing what's going on in the back end and seeing if there's any information I can pry out of it. Oh, and I got a gold nugget, right? So let me see here. Let me ask my man, Gary Jordan. So Gary, so, you know, he asked me, he's like, hey, Nick, so everybody here is buying Zillow for us. So they're making it so easy for us. He's like, you know how they're doing that? So Gary, what do you think the answer I said was?
Why they're building Zillow ads, Zillow leads?
Because we're buying all their leads. We're paying Zillow for all the leads. And he kind of laughed. He's like, you would think that, wouldn't you? But here's what happened. And he started breaking it down for me, and it blew my mind. It really did. So let's think about this, Gary. So why do people buy leads from Zillow? Because all the consumers are trained to go there, right? If there weren't thousands and thousands and millions of people going to Zillow to look for homes, there would be no leads to sell, right? So let's think about this. As real estate agents, what are we all taught to do? Every time you list a home, post a picture of the listing, 3 homes, 2 baths, this much, it's this much money. Here's the square footage. We are literally telling people, and every time you sell a home, we do the same thing. Every time we help somebody buy a home, we do the same thing. We are training our audience that the home is the most important part of the deal. We are training our audience that the home is the most important part of the deal. If we post pictures of homes all day long, we are saying, I'm not important, the home is. Look how beautiful this home is, specs. What is Zillow's business model? Find a home, pick a real estate agent out of a hat. We are training people to go to Zillow and commoditize ourselves. If you keep posting pictures of homes, you are training people that the home is the most important part of the deal. We are not actually informing them on all the hard work we're doing. So instead, if you guys want to start actually getting leads from this and stop losing leads to Zillow and all these places, you have to do this thing. If you don't, you're going to keep sending people to Zillow. You're literally keeping realtor.com, Zillow, everywhere in business every time you just post a picture of a home. We are creating for sale by owners by posting a picture of a home just listed, and then 2 weeks later, just posting a picture of a home just sold and not telling them anything about what we did. We are creating for sale by owners every time we go on there and tell people how to sell their home faster. 3 tips to sell your home. People don't care about that. They really don't. We're giving them information that they're going to go one ear out the other, or we're training FISBOs to think they can actually do it. You guys with me there? Because I know, I'm sorry, I see this all the time. Here's how you sell your home faster. Here's how you do this and that. Well, no, that's our job. So here's what we want. Here's what we're going to be doing differently from now on. Every time you sell a home, every time, stand in front of the home. You don't need a professional cameraman. Share in front of the home with your camera. Stand in front of the home with your camera and just shoot a video and say, hey guys, we just sold this home for whatever above, like however many days. But I want to tell you a little bit about what I had to do to make sure this family got their home sold by this time, because that's when they needed to buy. I had to stay up till midnight going through offers. I had to go with 3 different people to like go through the different offers. I had to stay up with the mortgage guy. I had to do this, that, go with the inspector. Why? Because my clients wanted their home sold by this time for the highest dollar. And you need an expert to make sure you can do that. I was up till 12 o'clock taking phone calls because it was going off the charts. You have to tell people what you actually did to help sell this home. Because here's the thing. If I'm a for sale by owner working a job all day, and I just hear I took 30 phone calls in one day, I'm thinking, there is no way in heck I am going to take 30 phone calls in one day. And I had to stay up till midnight going through different offers. And I'm thinking, I have to wake up in 5-6 hours. There's no way I want to stay up till midnight. Every time you sell a home, tell people what you had to do to sell that home. Tell people what you had to do to sell that home. And here's an even bigger one, guys. And I'm telling you right now, you will attract buyers like crazy when you do this. So stand in front of a home. Here is a key line to use right at the beginning. Hey guys, I just want to let you guys know that there were 4 other offers on this home. What that means is there's a possibility of 4 families who saw their kids going to school here. There's a possibility that there were 4 other families that saw their kids and they're having cookouts in the backyard here, who are already picking out their baby's like crib in the home, who are already doing this, this, and this, saw themselves going to Mike's Bistro down the street. But the reality is only 1 family is going to do that. Here's why my family, my clients and the people I worked with got into this home. I stayed up doing this, this, and this. I made sure that I made sure that my contract went through. I communicated with the agent consistently. And yes, if you guys don't know, you should do that. You should do that. Communicated with the other agents consistently to make sure my offer got accepted. Why? Because my family told me this was their dream home and I was going to do everything in my power to make sure they get in there. Guys, it's a very competitive market right now, and you need to work with an expert to get into your dream home. How much more compelling is that than just bought and a picture, some specs to the house? You start building up your testimonials. Are they testimonials for yourself? Yes. But here's the thing. Nobody knows how much you work besides yourself. And I get what somebody said here. I want to touch on that. I love it. I thought it sounded like complaining. Here's the difference. I'm not going on there. I'm going on there triumphantly. There are some agents who are like, oh my gosh, I can't stand these agents, by the way. And you are so right about the complaining. I had to wait 30 minutes waiting for this buyer to get here. Oh, FML, I hate my life. Why? Like, they're so inconsiderate of my time. And I'm like, dude, first of all, never complain about what the work that you do. Because if you do, if I was working for you, if I was a client of yours, I would instantly think you're talking about me. And I'm like, I don't want to work with this person. But when you go on there and you talk about how triumphant you were and how happy you were to stay up till midnight to take this call, Why? Because my family told me that was their dream home and I'm going to get them in there. That's not complaining. That is passion. And those two can often get intertwined, right? That is passion. That is gratitude. Yes, another good one. Gratitude. I'm telling you, start doing those 2 videos and you will start attracting business right off the spot. All right. So there are some other good questions on this one right here that I kind of want to get into. Can we get that video script? You know what, Mike? I'll type up that video. Did you guys want that video script for the buying and selling? I'll put it in there a little bit, but I'll tell you what, they are very situational as well. I'll make sure that I type it up and put it in here. All right, so I'll get to this one. Oh, I'm glad that Matthew and Audra had the same question here. So guys, needed some water. Just me talking today. I'm in St. Thomas, a little hotter than normal. All right, here we go. Woo! All right, so we got one of those videos down. Guys, I'm excited about this. I actually stayed back from the beach because I told them, you know what? I need good internet because I wanted to bring the fire for you guys today. So how about branding when you have no sales under your belt? So guys, this next topic I'm going to cover, it doesn't matter if you have no sales under your belt, but this works. This works so great. Whether you have no sales, you just moved to a new area, or you've been in the area for a while, you can utilize this one even better. This is literally how we grew our business into 50 states, damn near overnight. We actually grew it into 43 states. We were in I think 7 to 10 at the time. We go to 43 states overnight by doing this one thing. Another quick question here. Do you ever use statistics, really what market is doing? You know, those videos can be good, but I wouldn't put that under branding. That's marketing because that's based on the market, right? So those are 2 different things. I like creating brand assets that I can continue to use. Because I'll tell you what, Tim, I'm glad you asked that question. So Tim asked, do you ever use statistics in the real estate market? And I'd say that's advertising, that's marketing, that's different from what we're talking about here. Because those videos that I just said, standing in front of a home, think about this, guys, just another way you guys can utilize these videos. Every time you work with the buyer, you have a list of 15 videos that you shot of what you did for your past buyers. And every day dripping a buyer video on them. Every day you work with the seller, every day dripping a video on them. You standing in front of a different home. Sometimes it's colder, sometimes it's hotter, but you're constantly talking about all these things that you did. How much more powerful is that than any CRM? Look, guys, I used to run an ISA company. You name a CRM, I was in the back end of it. You name a brand strategy, I ran it. You name a drip campaign, I read it. They suck. They all suck, guys. They're not going to get you clients. They're going to keep you in front of them, but that's all. Instead, every single day, imagine every time you work with a seller and you drip a seller video that you just shot in front of a home. Every time a new buyer comes in, you drip a video of you getting in front of a home, saying you stayed up till midnight, took 50 calls to make it happen. I'm choosing you over the person who sends me a generic email. 10 out of 10. So here's a great one, guys. So like I was saying, I left you off on a cliffhanger. How we grew our business into 43 states overnight, right? I recognized one thing, one very, very important thing. I was trying to run ads. I'm not gonna lie. I ran an ad like one time early on, and I haven't ran ads since. We haven't run an ad to grow our business since that first one. I wish I could say $0 in ads, but it was like $200 once. But I realized, man, to run ads to people who don't know me, it's tough. It's hard. Does it work? Yes. But I'm not saying don't run ads. But when you have a strong brand and you run ads, it blows it away. I realized this when I was on the phones and I was working at the call company, because we would do circle prospecting around one neighborhood, and circle prospecting is randomly calling people. And since this guy had a great brand, we got 8 to 10 listings every month in this $1 million neighborhood. And then we had this other client that we would call for 5 hours a day to the hottest leads, but he invested nothing in his branding.
Okay, where we go?
You know what happened every single time? I'd say, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Nick. And they're like, who's Nick? I don't know who this is. I swear I could have read them their social security number and they still would have told me, no, I didn't fill out that lead form. Has anyone else felt out that way? Where it's like, sir, I see you just looked at another home. And they're like, no, that's not me. You just looked at this one. No, that's not me. I'm like, so someone else, but your information, you know. But here's the difference. When you have a strong brand, it turns everybody into a referral. All those leads that come in, since they know who you are, it makes a whole world of difference. So here's what that strategy is, guys. The best interviewer wins. I'll say that again. The best interviewer wins. There's a couple reasons why I like interviews. One, for me, when I wanted to grow my business in Arizona, I thought, man, I could run ads, do all these things, go out there and do events, or I can interview a guy who had a 900 agent independent brokerage. And what did you know? My business blew up in Arizona overnight. Wow, shocking. Then I did it again. And then I did it again. And it just kept going. So remember when I told you guys the ideal client profile is so very important to fill it out. Where do they shop? Where do they eat? What do they do for fun? Where do they go? Why? Because every one of those places, you're going to interview the person with the biggest audience in each one of those places. You're going to find local events happening with where your clients go for fun. You're going to find local events happening. You're going to interview the town square of things that are going on. So just some ideas for interviews. Local business owners are great ones. Local business owners are great ones. Restaurants are really good ones. And in restaurants, always give away a gift card. Always give away $100 gift card to one person who shares the video if you're going to do a restaurant. Get some bandwidth. Local business owners are good ones. Mortgage lenders, there are other good ones. Hop on there and talk about the market. I know that's part of marketing, but you guys can still utilize it in your interviews. Get on there and you guys, here's an even better one you can do. Woo. All right. So here's a great branding strategy. I love using this because it creates some brand assets. Hop on with your local mortgage lender and go step by step how to get pre-approved, get into your first home, get into a home. Go through step by step and break it up. And then here's what you do. You go to your YouTube channel and you say, buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina. And it's you guys step side by side. Same thing with selling a home. Who are the people that somebody would have to talk to when they're selling their home? Home inspector, survey, all these other individuals. Interview each person. Don't talk about the market. Just simply talk about the transaction. Simply talk about the transaction. Guys, especially if you're new, if you don't have a YouTube channel, this is the #1 best way to start. I know there's a lot of people out there who say, I've sold. I'm not going to get into that because we have a tool that looks up how much people can sell. And I looked up a lot of these YouTubers, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Anyways, but here's what you guys can do. It's one of the best ways to start your YouTube channel. Interview every person in the home buying process and just simply go over each step of the process. Don't talk about the current market, any other specific deals, step by step. And here's what you're going to label the videos. Buying a home, working with the loan officer. Buying a home, getting pre-approved. Buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina, getting pre-approved. Buying a home in Raleigh, North Carolina, passing the inspection. Buying a home. You guys get what I'm saying there, step by step? Do you guys have questions on that? Brilliant. There we go. But here's what you're going to do. Every time you work with a buyer, you send them the playlist because it's step by step. And you'll say, hey, I just want you to know that each video is 5 minutes. I'm going to send you each video as we go. This video could be the difference between you getting in your dream home or not. Go ahead and give it a watch. Look, if that video even saves one person from not buying a car when they get pre-approved, it's already made its money, right? But then here's what's going to happen, which is really cool. The way YouTube works, evergreen content. I love the language. This is what happens, right? The way YouTube works is that people start watching more than a minute of the video consistently. And heck, the first 30 people go there and watch damn near all 5 minutes of a video. YouTube's gonna be like, holy crap, people love this. So now anybody looking for buying a home, your video is going to start popping up too. But also every buyer you work with for what, the next 5 years, 10 years until real estate changes, you can use those videos to send to every buyer and every seller. Right? So now those videos are evergreen and you keep doing them consistently. Home inspector, local business owners. All right. So I have a little more time here. So, So here's a brand strategy that we use, and we call it how to take over any neighborhood in 30 days or less. You guys want to learn how to do that? Let me get some water before I get into this one. I didn't plan on covering this one, but I think the yeses have it here. All right. This is branding at its finest. So this one, we call it the land, sea, and air approach, right? Because if you guys are going into war, I love studying war and ancient history, right? If you guys are going into war, it's amazing. Like when England created the longbow, they were like, whoa, they created the longbow. They just added 20 extra yards to their archers. So they were dominating, right? When somebody added the airplanes, when somebody added the submarines, they dominated. Why? Because if someone's just going land and I'm going land, sea, and air, I'm going to win. So how to take over any neighborhood in 30 days or less. I don't care. We went against some guerrillas to test this one, and we started cleaning the house, right? So here's step one. Step one, interview. If you guys have a local, like, what's it called? Like not a cul-de-sac, like a neighborhood. Identify what place would everyone in that neighborhood go out to eat. What place do you think like a local eatery that most people in the neighborhood would go? And if you don't know, ask some people. You can even go on Facebook. There's a creative post. Hey, people who live over in this area, what's your favorite place to eat? All right, there you go. But identify that place. Here's step one. Interview the owner of the business. And let people know, hey guys, I'm giving away a $100 gift card to one person who shares this video. Post it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm giving away one gift card to someone who shares this video, right? So that's step one. Step two, and this is where I lose some people because like, oh, direct mail doesn't work. I'm like, no, you just don't know how to freaking do it. Direct mail, I'm telling you right now, this direct mail is going to change some people's businesses if you actually do this here. So step one, do that interview. Step two, we're going to use something called lumpy mail. So you want to get an envelope, right? First, you want to put a QR code of your video on there. Do not like, you can put, hey, local real estate agent, your name, interviews the business down the street. We're giving away a $100 gift card. And just have your information on the bottom. Don't make it about you. Just make it about the giveaway. Okay. Local real estate agents at so-and-so brokerage interviews this place, giving away a $100 gift card and have a QR code on there. Takes them right to your YouTube or Facebook video. You guys follow with me so far? So that is the mailer, just a QR code leading to the video. But here's where it gets fun. What you need to do, one of my favorite things I would do is I would go to the dollar store and I would get those army men. You know those army men with the parachutes? Those little toy army men with the parachutes? I would buy like 1,000 of them, like 10 cents a piece. And then I would put an army man in each one of the mailers. Here's why. When people go to their mail, what do? Bill, they go through these. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But all of a sudden, this one's a little heavier. So they stop. Like, what is this? They try and feel it, and they cannot figure out what the heck is inside of this. You know what's going to get them? Curiosity. You're like, all right, what is this? They're going to open it. And here's the other thing. You got to put this in here. Put a $1 scratch off in there too. A $1 scratch off. Think about this. The most boring and most people's least favorite part of the day is going home and opening up bills. And you just gamified it. You literally made it a game for them. You gamified mail. Wow. Lumpy mail and dollar scratch off, and then a $100 gift card to one person. Because now they're open to checking out. All right, what is this? Oh, $100 gift card to this place up the street. They go there, they watch the video, they share it. And then here's the kicker. So we did land, sea. The next day, door knock. Freaking get out there and door knock. Why? Because everyone's going to know you. I am telling you, we have people shaking their hands, kind of like giving them a, like, no way, this is you. Why? Because they saw you in the mail, they watched you on video, and now you're there within 3 days. The video doesn't have to be the day before. You know, the video could have been another day. But they got the mailer. They scratched it off. Dude, I'm telling you, if somebody wins $5, you're going to be getting a call from them. It's the funniest thing because why? You just made them a winner. You just made somebody who had maybe had a terrible day a winner out of nowhere. And then they're going and watching a video down the street. And then you door knock. Woo! Here is the simple reality we have to know. I don't care who is out there. Where do you get the scratch off? Gas station. I know some states don't have scratch offs. That's right. Gas station is where we go. But here's the very big reality that we have to understand. I can't tell you how many Facebook groups it pisses me off when real estate agents go in there and say, oh, my cousin went with another realtor. What do I do? My best friend went with another realtor. What do I do? And everyone's like, never talk to him again. I'm like, man, you must have no freaking friends. Because I went on their Facebook and Instagram and they got nothing on there. Here is the reality. People only have room in their brain for one real estate agent. And if it's not you, that's your damn fault. Nobody else's. If they didn't think real estate expert and they didn't think of you first, that's your fault, right? So here, I don't care how dominant somebody's signs are in a neighborhood, or like this person's been selling homes here for 50 years. You send them within a day, they get a scratch off. They open your lumpy mailer with an army man. They watch your video and you door knock them, top of mind, number one. And then you keep them in your mailers, and you keep doing that consistently. And then you let them know you're gonna do these like giveaways once a month. You name another local business owner. Top of mind. You know what? They're gonna open your next mailer too. That is how you do it. Take over any neighborhood in 30 days. All right, guys, here's what I want to do. I want to open it up to questions. I know I can kind of spitball on these things. I could talk all day on a lot of these strategies that we do. I want to slow it down a little bit, be able to answer any questions that you guys have. I'll first start scrolling through here. Let's see. You answer that. Isn't branding staying within a specific guideline that you have created? So the guidelines that I've had on here, it's really staying within your core values and your beliefs. I want to go back and touch on those a little bit, just how important they are. Almost every single month, I go back and I talk about my core values and my beliefs in videos. Why? Because I am being different than most marketers. Has anybody else out there heard a branding guy or another marketer or somebody like that talk about their core values or beliefs? If you do, raise your hand. I'll be pretty impressed. Why? Because I've not heard any other real estate agents talking about their core values or beliefs besides the ones that we work with. They're all talking about how much they sold. And what do people hate about salesmen? They always talk about how much they sell. So why the hell are we going to play into that? Talk about your core values and your beliefs. Make yourself different. Let's see. Want to see numbers. Consistent. Guys, if you do have questions, feel free to drop them. Oh, there's 11 new ones. Let's see. QR code. Yeah, Q code generator is a good one. Interview local eatery, offer $100. There you go. Okay, how to brand towards investors. Well, here's the cool thing I love about this. Follow what we just said. What are your core values and your beliefs? In your beliefs, you should believe in real estate investing. I believe everyone should own 3 pieces of real estate. I believe people need real estate to retire. I believe. So when you say your beliefs consistently, investors will say, I believe in that too, right? And then figure out, go through your ICP. What is their age? What is the location? What is their job? What do real estate investors do for fun? Where do they go to eat? Where do they shop? Here's the big one. What are their goals and what are their problems? What are their goals and what are their problems? Start identifying what their problems are and speak to them in videos. Again, speak to every person that you know in the real estate investing world. Speak with specific mortgage. Speak with a bunch of people on the investing side. Just do as much as you can to get involved in the community of investors. That's where you start with this, you know. When door knocking, what's your pitch? Hey, you just want to let them know, hey, I'm just door knocking. You know, we did a $100 giveaway to the local eatery right across the street. I just want to make sure that you saw that. Right? Hey, we sent you access to a $100 gift card to the local eatery down the street. We're doing this best. You can say like we're doing the best of Raleigh. I don't know why I keep saying Raleigh, but I guess I like that place right now. The best of Raleigh, North Carolina. We interviewed a place right down the street from you. I just want to see if you got it. Oh, no, you didn't. Here, I'll make sure that you get over to that, or maybe have some more on the fly with you. Right? You just want to let them know what you're doing, that you're a real estate agent in the area. I'm telling you, most people there, you're going to be surprised about the people like, holy shit, this is you, right? Because they see it, they saw it, you see it on the video. What else in the mailer? Army Man scratch off. Yeah, the Army Man, the scratch off, as well as the QR code. And it's like a flyer, like a little flyer in there that says local real estate agent interviews the business down the street, gives away a $100 gift card. QR code, and then your information on the bottom. Yes, no. I have core values part of Cobalt Banker. That's a great point. I would create your own core values, guys. No matter what brokerage you're at, what team you're in or anything, create your own core values. What do you stand for? Because here's what I'll say. I'm sure we all love where we're at, but I can only control my own core values, right? At the end of the day, I like being in control of my own brand. I like being in control of my own self because, again, I am my own economy. I tell myself that every freaking day in the mirror. I am my own economy. I don't give a damn what is happening in the world. The world economy and my economy are two completely different places. I am in control of it. I'm in control of my own core values. The giveaway is for one person, but how do you control it? That is a great question. So they're asking the giveaway, like, how do you control it? Here's what I would do. I would literally just click the shares and just scroll through and pick a name. Scroll, stop, pick a name. Or one time I sent it to my grandma. I'm like, hey, can you pick a name out of this list? She's like, what's it for? I'm like, just pick a name. She picked one. You know, as long as you do it ethically, you don't need like a whole, I was doing like putting names in a basket. And then I got to like 400 names. I'm like, I'm not writing 400 freaking names. Like, it's ridiculous. So I would just like scroll through the shares, stop and pick one. Right. And truly help investors. Best of Amarillo may cost extra to mail. Yeah, it may cost extra to mail. You're right. But the Army Man, the reason I like the Army Man is it was very light. And it wasn't heavy. Right. So that's why I like that. It may cost extra to mail, but it's definitely worth it. No. Do not handwrite these mailers to put in the scratchers. Don't handwrite these ones. Because you want to send out, like, you want to find a neighborhood that has about like some of these neighborhoods get like 150, 500 homes in them. You want to find a giant neighborhood to do this in. A giant one, right? That'll take you all 30 days to door knock. Those are the ones that we like to attack. Right? But no, I would not handwrite these mailers. I would save that for something else. I like that. Carrie, you're right. If you don't stand for something, you don't stand for anything. How do you control the gift card giveaway? So yes. So it's what I say is I only give the gift card away to one person who shares the video, right? Not just anybody who shares it, just one person who shares the video. The way we got around that, she said most fine neighborhoods don't allow door-to-door knocking. They call it soliciting. You know, here's what I always say. You know, I like asking for forgiveness, not permission, but I also say I'm not soliciting. I'm just making sure that they got what I sent them. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just did a giveaway. I just want to make sure you got entered into the giveaway. Is that all right with you? Great. And if they kick you out, great. I'll do it again in a month. That's just me though. But you know, and then another thing you do is you can do calling. If you don't door knock, you could also call the entire neighborhood. So do I mention something clever? I don't have any jokes I tell when I get to the door or something clever like that, but one of the most powerful things that we could do is, hey, I'm here because blah, da, da. Did you get it? Here, I'm here because I just sent you a way to get entered into a $100 giveaway. We just did about this place up the street. Did you get it? Oh, just out of curiosity, have you guys ever been up there to eat? Man, I love that place too. You want to be just like them, a part of the neighborhood. All right, so here's another great strategy that we found out. I found this one out by accident. So I got 9 minutes here, so I'll share with you guys some of like these little things that made a huge difference in some of these agents' businesses. So I went home recently it was like 2 years ago to go hang out with my mom. And it was one of those times where I was only at home for a couple of days and my mom was like, I'm going over to my aunt's cousin's something. Like I'm supposed to know who this is, right? I don't even know my mom's aunt's cousin's still alive, but she was. Never met her before. I'm like, you know what, Mom? I'll go with you. Turned out to be one of the best decisions I've made. So we walk in here and instantly, you know, kind of smells like an old person's home. It's really interesting house. But I go in there, I sit on the couch. I just want to paint this picture for you. It's not a place I thought I would learn real estate or a marketing or branding strategy. This is a branding, straight up branding whatsoever. But I'm sitting here on this couch and all of a sudden my mom looks at the picture on the mantle. She says, oh my gosh, that's such a great picture of your family. You know what she said? She said, yeah, when we bought this house, the real estate agent had a photographer come back, take a family picture, and they framed it for us. They went on to talk about that real estate agent. I shit you not, for 20 minutes. They bought the house 15 years ago. 15 years ago, they bought the home. They talked about the same agent from 15 years ago for 20 minutes. You know how many people walk into the house and say, that's such a nice picture, and she has that same conversation with every single time. What do most families, moms and dads, go into homes, they see a family picture on the wall, it's really nice. That's a great picture. Even if it's an ugly family, you still say it, right? You still say it. And every single time they talked about that agent. Best closing gift ever. I was just sitting there fascinated. Do not put your logo big on that. Trust me. You do that, they're going to cut it out and they're going to get rid of it. They're not going to like it. Family picture and frame it. Frame it. Get a really nice frame. Do not go small on that. Get a nice frame, family picture. That baby is going on the mantle for years. Years. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but it was impossible to get all three of us kids in one room to take a picture growing up. Sports, other things. But when you move into a new house, everybody's there. That is the best closing gift that I've seen. Yolita, I see you very nicely raising your hand. What's going on, girl? What do you got for me?
Yeah, hello. So you gave us so many great ideas. And I'm just wondering if you have something documented, like that you can share, like, marketing plan for different strategies. And for me would be also, what kind of questions do you ask at the interview, or you must to ask at the interview with the business owners?
That is a great question. You know, Yolita, here's my honest answer. That is the question that everybody always asks me. You know what I tell them? This is what I should start telling them, actually. I usually give them the questions. That doesn't matter until you're actually in there about to interview them. Here's what I mean by that. If we don't actually take the action to go there and set up the interview and do it, none of this other stuff matters. I know some people tell me, well, I need the questions to go do this. I'm like, no, you don't. That is a great question, Yolita. I'm so thankful you asked it, because I know how many other people here were asking, what questions do I ask the local business owner? I know she wasn't the only one. Don't be afraid to raise your hand too. But those questions don't really matter. You know, I just ask them why you chose this neighborhood. Why do you like this location? Like what's special about your business? Everyone thinks they're special. But to me, it's those questions, even like the questions in the mortgage lenders, all those, they don't really matter. The amount of action that we take is what matters. Action beats perfect questions every single time, right? That's like, has anybody here ever solved 10 problems that never even existed? And then 10 new ones happened after you actually took action, right? Like I had this whole plan in my head, and I start solving all these problems, getting everything set up. And then when I actually went to do it, none of those problems happened, and 10 more were created. It's a great question, Yolita. Here's what I would say. Just set it up, and I know you'll figure it out along the way. The hardest thing is actually doing these plans.
And then the question would be, would it be smart to ask the business owner what kind of question they would like to be asked, you know?
That's another good question. I usually tell them no. No, you don't get the questions beforehand.
Okay.
Just because I believe it gets scripted, I believe it can get a little scripted, and the more I send people questions, the more they tend to back out, actually, so I wouldn't send people questions beforehand, just because I think it's always better when it's live and unscripted. Same thing with mortgage lenders. Anytime you do an interview, always do it live, guys. I'm telling you right now, do it live. There's a great tool called StreamYard.com. It's so good, I'm gonna throw it in the chat. And I'm just very angry with them right now because the last 3 years, they do not have an affiliate deal. I've been referring them to like tens of thousands of people, still don't have one. But StreamYard, you can stream to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the same time. At the same time, stream to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the same time, right? So I think that tool is great, and I always go live on it. guys, get
One more question.
all right. What you got? What you got?
So if you go live on all those channels, I always struggle. Should I go as a person or as a business owner?
Person. Great question. All guys on here, stop using your business pages to, if you're not running ads. If you are not running ads, do not use your business page, period. Here's the thing. Here's the simplest way I could break this down, right? There's a free version of the app and a paid version of the app. On the free version, other people are paid to run, are paying Instagram, Facebook and Instagram to run ads to you. So if you're not running an ad on your business page, you're competing with only other people running ads. You're going to get freaking smoked. If you're not running an ad, don't post on your business page. Simple. Great question, Yolita. I hear that one all the time. The only reason you should be posting on your business page if you're running an ad. And, you know, I think this is just always something that should be said. Go live. Let me see if Tim, do you remember the sign that's in our podcast room? The one that's on the wall right to your right? It's a one take.
Oh, I was thinking of a different one. If you're not having fun, then don't do it.
If you're not having fun, then I'm not doing it. That's another sign we got. Let's see. Is Jeff still on? I don't know if I see Jeff. So we have this sign in our podcast room. It says one take Timmy. What that means is I don't care how bad it is. I'm doing it in one take. Here's the thing, guys. The things that we edit out of videos are most likely the exact reason someone will work with you. Simple reality. Oh, you know what? I'm glad we have another minute. I'm going to talk about this for a couple seconds here. Because this is I actually fired this client. We did an entire month's worth of content with this person. They came out, they shot with us. We edited all these videos. I gave them back all their money after it because of this one thing. They could not distinguish their ego from the brand. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad somebody brought this up so I could talk about this. This is huge. Your ego and your brand are two different things, guys. Two different things. Let me ask you this. Tim, my man, Tim Feinberg. Tim, are you perfect? Let me see. Can you unmute for us? I want to hear this. Tim, are you perfect?
No way.
Cindy Gillies. Cindy, are you perfect?
Not anywhere near.
So why the hell is everyone editing their videos to make us look that way? Why do we edit out all the things in our videos that actually make us our brand? Those little things like your kid running in the background, the dog barking. You get this one video, my brother started throwing paper balls at me. I messed up, I cussed, and I still sent it out anyways. Got so many callbacks from it. The things you are editing out of your videos are the exact reason someone's going to work with you. Your ego is telling you that's not on brand. Your ego is telling you it has to be perfect, but nobody is. I mean, I only asked 2 people on here. Maybe somebody on here is that didn't chime up. But your ego and your brand are 2 completely different things, guys. 2 completely different things. Everyone says, be authentic, be authentic. And it sounds so freaking simple. I'm tired of hearing be authentic because like, I don't think it really tells you much. Because even when the people are saying that, I'm like, are you being authentic though? Here's my thing. The way I like to look at it is ego and brand. Those are the 2 biggest differences. Ego gets in the way of your brand all the time. The picture you don't want to post. A spelling mistake. Man, my last book had over 100 spelling mistakes and I know it. Ask Mike Russo. I see him shaking his head. Why? Because I wrote it in a 3-hour plane ride to Cleveland because I just had too much to say. Shocker, right? I had too much to say. But anyways, ego and brand, 2 completely different. Don't laugh too hard, Tim. Ego and brand, 2 completely different things, guys. Do not let your ego get in the way of your brand. Go live. Best way to put it. Go live and don't watch your video. Do not watch your videos. Here's something that I read once. It was Brad Pitt. I'm not ashamed to admit this. Brad Pitt's a good-looking dude, right? Hollywood actor, all of these things. I heard that one time he watched one of these videos or watched one of his movies in a theater, and he didn't like the way he looked or like the way he sounded. I'm like, hold up. So this dude, Hollywood actor, has a camera crew, a lighting crew, a makeup crew, an outfit crew. They shot the take 10 different times. They edited it 50 times. They brought it to the big screen, and he still didn't like the way he looked. What chance do any of us guys got, right? chances anybody else have. Nobody likes the way they look or sound on video or anything. You know, all it's going to do, it's going to hold each and every one of you back from being consistent. You know what happens? You do a video, you wait for your editor to send it 4 weeks later, and you get it back, and then you still go send out for more edits. It takes 6 freaking weeks to make a video. You know how many videos I posted since then? I don't even know how many right now, because we're up to a couple a day. If you guys are in my email campaigns, we make sure we're on top of those too. Stop worrying about spelling. Stop worrying about the coloring, the lighting, all of these things. They do not make your brand. They build your ego. Cannot cash your ego into any bank. I've tried. Doesn't work. What are you using to do the video? Your phone? Well, I just recently, 6 months ago, I have a full-time cameraman that lives with me now. So I'm not like, don't look at me. So when I say that, I started with my phone. Everything we shot with my phone. Actually, my book is not out for release yet. I just sent it out to a special couple people here. You know what? I might have to do that. Yeah, you see it right there, Mike. Timeline takeover. Woo. That was like all these questions you guys asked me. Honestly, I spent about 3 hours on a plane. Just my thumbs never stopped moving. And we released the book. Let's see here. So you build your brand on your personal pages. Great question. You know what? Here's a couple more things I want to talk about. I could stop at any point, but I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. What I know is this: if you are not branding your name, you are doing it wrong. Period. If you're not branding your name, you are doing it wrong. And I'm not saying that like disrespect the guidelines where you have to have your team name or other things. If you guys are building a group, there's different things beyond this. But here's what I know. If you are not branding your name, you're doing it wrong. Because no matter if I go sell vacuums tomorrow, I'll have a line of people wanting to buy vacuums from me because I'm Nick Krem and I built my brand to say I'm a reputable individual. Whatever I do, it's trusted. My brand is trusted. My name is trusted through that. If you're not branding your name, you are doing it wrong. Period. Because here's the thing, 10 years from now, are you going to like that catchy name that you came up with, that little jingle that you got to go with it? Maybe, but probably not. Last name's so I just use Agent Sharon. You know, I can definitely see where you're coming from, but here's what I know. Companies go out of business. Your name does not. Exactly. But here's the thing. When people go to Facebook and Instagram, they look up the catchiest realtor, who's going to pop up? Your number one realtor, who's going to pop up? Well, a million of them, because we all are, right? They're going to look up all these different things that might be around your brand. You are the brand. Use your name. If you guys want to come up with catchy subtitles, use that as sub-branding, like other things underneath your name. Your name's always the biggest. Always, 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 always brand your name. It's one of the most important things. I asked this guy, he's a genius on the back end. You know, I asked him, what if you could go back in time and do one thing differently, what would it be? He's like, I would have branded my name right from the beginning. Because he had like 6 different companies and he had to rebuild it up every single time. Let's see, what else do we have? Hashtags. I'm not a guru on hashtags. It's not that I don't believe in them. I just don't. There's only so much you can be an expert in. Hashtags not one of those for me. All right, guys, this is what we have for you today. It is recorded. So here's what you guys should do. Whoever invited you to this, make sure you thank them for it. The only way you can get the recording and get the sheets is reaching out to the person who invited you, right? And possibly if you reach out to them, they might be able to get you on a one-on-one with me. I'm doing some of those after this call. So if you do talk to the individual who invited you, there's a chance you guys might be able to get a one-on-one with me, a complete branding session. We'll go through step-by-step what you guys need to do. You will get the recording and you'll get this list of what to do to create a brand. Guys, I want to thank you so much for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you know what? I think I'm going to go down to the beach here for a little bit, guys. See you guys. Let's keep crushing it.